Okay, so this is our next question from Cat23, the first lot. You can pause the video and give it a try, and then you can resume the video for the solution. Alright guys, so a slightly lengthy question, but I think it's very doable. For some positive and distinct real numbers x, y, z, if 1 upon root y plus root z is the arithmetic mean of 1 upon root x plus root z and 1 upon root x plus root y, then the relationship which will hold true is. Alright, so it is given that this term 1 upon root y plus root z, it is the arithmetic mean of these two. So if B is the arithmetic mean of A and C, we can always say that 2B will be equal to A plus C, right? So twice of 1 upon root y plus root z will be 2 upon root y plus root z. That will be 1 upon root x plus root z plus 1 upon root x plus root y. Okay, now you can take the LCM. Basically, you can multiply, or you will have to multiply throughout by 3 terms: root of x plus root z into root x plus root y into root y plus root z, right? So the left hand side here will be twice of root x plus root y into root x plus root z is equal to this term 1 upon root x plus root z gets multiplied with this entire expression, this part, and will only give you root y plus root z into root x plus root y plus this term 1 upon root x plus root y will again get multiplied by this particular bracket, root x plus root z, root x plus root y plus root z, and it will get cancelled out with root x plus root y, and it will give you root x plus root z into root y plus root z. Now let's open out all the brackets. Your left hand side would become 2 outside. Root x into root x will give me x. Root x into root x will give me x. Root x into root z will be root of xz. Root y into root x will be root of xy. Root y into root z will be root of yz. This entire thing is your left hand side. And we can multiply all these terms with 2. We'll get 2x plus 2 root xz plus 2 root xy plus 2 root yz. Now, on the right hand side, we have to be slightly careful. Root y into root x will be root of xy, right? Plus root y into root y, these two terms will give you y. Root z into root x will give you root of xz. Root z into root y will give you root of yz. Okay, plus root x into root y will be root of xy. Plus root x into root z will be root of xz. Root z into root y will be root of yz. Plus root z into root z is z. Now finally on the right hand side guys, root xy plus root xy will give you 2 root xy, which will get cancelled out with the term on the left hand side, corresponding term on the left hand side. Similarly, root xz and root xz will be 2 root xz, will get cancelled out with the corresponding term on the left hand side. And similarly, root yz plus root yz will be 2 root yz, will get cancelled with the corresponding term on the left hand side. And now if you observe carefully, I am left with only 3 terms. One is 2x on the left hand side, which is equal to, on the right hand side I have y and z, which is y plus z. Okay, very clearly we can now observe that 2x is equal to y plus z, and as we have previously discussed, when 2b is equal to a plus c, a, b and c are in AP. Similarly, if 2x is y plus z, we can very clearly say that y, x and z would be in AP, and that is very clearly your C option. That's the answer to our question. Now this is one way of solving it, pretty lengthy, but yeah, but we'll give you the answer obviously. Okay, so I'll tell you one more way of solving this. Okay, slightly less lengthy, but see, this question is inevitably calculative guys, so you will have to sweat a little to get the answer. Alright guys, the other way of solving the question is the concept, or one concept that we have already seen and also applied that in one of the previous questions based on time and work, is that whenever numbers are in AP, their reciprocals are always in HP, right? So if the numbers are 1 upon root y plus root z, 1 upon root x plus root z and 1 upon root x plus root y, it is given that this term is the arithmetic mean of these two. So the reciprocal of this term, which is root y plus root z, will be the harmonic mean of these two terms, right? The harmonic mean, it will be the harmonic mean of the two terms root x plus root z and root x plus root y. That's it. So we calculate the harmonic mean of these two and equate that with root y plus root z. That's it. So harmonic mean of these two terms would be twice of root x plus root z into root x plus root y divided by root x plus root z plus root x plus root y. Okay, this is slightly less calculative, but it is calculative though, but very much doable. So root y plus root z, and here we are going to have 2 root x plus root y plus root z. Now, when 2 root x gets multiplied by y, we will get 2 root xy plus when 2 root x gets multiplied by root z, we will have 2 root xz. Similarly, root y into y will be y. Root y into root z will be root of yz plus root z into root y will be root of yz again plus root z into root z will give you a z. And on the right hand side, we simply multiply these two terms. Root x plus root z into root x plus root y. Root x into root x will give me an x plus root x into root y will be root of xy plus root z into root x will give me root of xz, and lastly root z into root y will give me root of yz, and there is a 2 outside which gets multiplied throughout inside. Now very clearly 2 root xz, 2 root xz gone, 2 root xy, 2 root xy gone. Root yz plus root yz is 2 root yz, cancels out. And finally what we have is 2x is equal to y plus z. Once again, we can very clearly observe it is our C option. Y, X and Z are in AP. This is slightly less lengthy as compared to the previous. But yes, as I've said, you have to break your sweat to, you have to break some sweat to get the answer in this particular question. That's how we do it.